What was your initial impression when you first read the script?
I wondered why they thought of me. I played some dark characters, but I don't make a habit of playing them. And this one guy I thought I had a way to play him. I think a lot of people said, no, people aren't going to like you. And I said, I'll play him really violent and really tough. But I said, I think in the end, people will care about him more than they'll care about the guys who supposedly are the good guys.
You have some emotional moments with Gal Gadot. What do you admire about her as a performer?
Well, I like the way she carried herself. We didn't have a lot of time. I arrived on the set with long hair and a beard, ready to do the prison scene. And they said, no, you got to do the scene in the bedroom with her. So I shook her hand and then began to undress her, and tie her up. And so what happened was I just said hello to her and then went into the makeup trailer, didn't see her for about 2 or 3 hours and came out looking like this, with holes in my head, looking like Frankenstein. Everybody was shocked. Nobody knew how I was going to look. And the next thing you know, I'm stuffing a sock in her mouth and tying her wrists up, and she's a beautiful woman. And at the end of the day, I said, I'm sorry, I hope I didn't hurt you.
It's not the first time you've worked with fellow screen legends, Tommy Lee Jones and Gary Oldman. What was it like reuniting with those guys?
Well, it was good that, it's not like we had a lot of scenes in JFK together, but what happened is that you took 2 other leading men, and we were all in that room in that scene where I wake up in the hospital. That's a difficult scene, and we had no time to do that scene, and yet it ranks with a lot of the scenes I've ever done, I think. It's really a cool scene, ending with him with his tongue just trying to get a pill like some animal or dog reaching through a cage.
And there are some seriously impressive action scenes. Jericho is partial to a punch-up. How do you prepare for a role like this?
Well, I always try to make those things authentic. I don't think it's realistic that I go into a room and beat up like 5 guys who are all standing in front of me. But if I can create a street fight that has a little bit of movement, a little bit of logic, a randomness, and a sense of street violence, then I think actually the audience appreciates it more. They actually see how that could have come about. A level of surprise, a level of resourcefulness.
I spotted so many familiar places in London throughout the film. How much did you enjoy filming in our capital?
Well, you wake up and you go, where are we going? And London is a feast, in terms of architecturally and the differences in the city, where we would go and where we would perform. And I was all over, so it's almost like my private tour. Except I'm looking like a criminal and most.
And if you could have anyone's memories and thoughts implanted in your own brain, who would it be and why?
Well, I've kind of wondered a lot about what in the hell my wife is thinking about sometimes when she gets on me. I'm thinking, and she doesn't a lot, but, or you're asking about like some person that's like in history?
Oh, anyone you like, really.
Yeah, well, I think most men would like to know what their wives are thinking, like going, what in the world? Because sometimes we don't have a clue. I think the cameramen are refusing to nod their heads because they think maybe their wife's even watching.
And finally, you toured with your band Modern West last year. What do you get out of being a musician or that you don't perhaps get from acting and directing?
Well, I'm with my friends. To begin with, and we're doing our own music. So it's not like I'm doing cover songs. We write our own music. We've played around the world, and we play really loud and long. And if you've ever been in a band, it's just a really great thing. And I'm surrounded by really friends and great musicians, and we're a really disciplined band. We work really hard on the structure of our songs, and I decide which ones get played. I kind of break all the ties. And that means a lot of my songs don't make it. I just have to decide what is right. And we pull now from about 60 songs to decide what the set's going to be, and usually winds up, 15, 16 songs. We'll play a cover once in a while, and from somebody famous, or maybe somebody who probably should be famous.
Kevin Costner, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey!